What's up, Samurai? We are back again some more Veloren. So I'm going to be fully transparent with you guys. Almost all of the episodes that you saw prior to this one was bulk recorded over many weeks. It took me a long time to edit them. I know that, but I also was dealing with a lot of weird technical issues. Like, this game just does not like being recorded, or at least it doesn't for my end. I don't know. But to be perfectly honest with you guys, I've actually stopped playing Veloren for quite some time. And since the last episode, okay, I gotta let you guys in on all this. So since the last episode, I ended up going crazy. Basically, I got like all of the end game armor, almost all of the end game weapons. I've got a full set of Mind Flayer spell bags, which is the bag that gives you the most inventory space in the entire game. I'm rocking a traveler's backpack. I've swapped over to Orcalium, and I am using a melee build because melee is actually the most overpowered in this entire game, and it's actually ridiculous. Since I did all of that, that was already like a week or two ago. And I stopped playing ever since. Because I kind of already did everything and there wasn't really anything else that I wanted to cover. And also I kind of embarrassingly didn't record the steps of getting to this amount of power. Yeah, so that kind of sucks. But anyways, what we're going to be doing today, the reason that we're actually back on the game, I mean, you guys won't notice the difference because we've continually had Veloren episodes over the past few months, is we actually ended up having a really significant update that you might have noticed, but maybe it went under the radar because as we've seen, the Veloren developers, sorry if you're watching, have the worst patch notes I've ever seen with any video game I have ever played. Because I wouldn't even call it patch notes because they don't even talk about new things. It's like all of it's on like their weird forum website where they basically merge all of these job templates into a different, it's not set up in such a way that it makes any sense. But another reason, I gotta let you guys know, another reason why I kind of moved on from this game is because with every small update that this game puts out, no matter how minute, if they end up putting out an update just for a hot fix, for some reason the entire world map stays static, but none of the dungeons, none of the towns do. Abamore eventually turned to what we were calling Abba No More, and now it is just Abba Gone. Like, there is no more Abamore. It's gone. It's been gone for a long time now. Closest we got is Tenberg, but by the time this video is out, who knows, that'll probably already be gone. Now, the most important of all, you guys probably already are wondering, okay, can we get to the point because I'm rambling about it and I already mentioned it in the thumbnail, is we've got a new biome. I don't know how much content it has. Knowing Veloren, probably not much at all. It's probably just vanity. But you'll notice around this area where we're chilling, there's actually nothing marked here. And I don't know if that's just because they haven't fixed it yet, but you'll notice something's chilling over there. So I think it's about time we swim over to it. My buddy Dank Val had let me know about this, because we were basically both searching high and low. Let me put the water on for you guys. We were searching high and low to try and figure out, okay, where is this place? Where is this new biome that, they mention in like a trailer, but they don't mention like where it is. They don't mention like how to get to it or anything like that. But there it is. Oh. And as you might have suspected, it is my absolute favorite style of biome, which is the Japanese biome. So we got sakura trees, we got bamboo forests and stuff. We also have very beautiful structures. I don't know whether or not this is actually going to end up being a dungeon. More importantly, I really hope that we actually have, man, so many things are popping in. I really hope that we have some campfires over here. So I guess their point was trying to put it next to Destin because that's kind of a starting town. Oh my God, this area does not want to render in, does it? Okay, I'm gonna turn the water off just because it's freaking out like a lot. Oh, my view distance wasn't up and neither was my entities. Okay, but let's also turn the water back down just because who cares? Right, little buddy? Get over here. Okay, is it working? Oh my God. Well, that's cool. Let's take a nice zoom out perspective. It's kind of like, it's beautiful, but it's a little too much graphics. Like, it's just very, very night and day that this is like a different area. Oh my God, it's so laggy over here. Oh, dude, I have a God PC. Devs, don't just use your paintbrush tool and put grass everywhere, okay, guys? Like, seriously. I have a God PC and I'm getting like frame dips here. Not to mention, most of all, it's just the performance issues. Like, I noticed a lot of lag. But okay, let's go check out the town here. If there's enough to this area, like maybe we got a new dungeon and stuff, not likely because there's no markers to it. But if we got new dungeons, new enemies and junk like that, then there's a high possibility that this series will come back pretty hard. But then there's also the very, very realistic scenario that this is all just placeholder and doesn't actually have anything going for it right now. In which case, this is just going to end up being like a one-off video where we'll just check it all out, kind of show it off and not really do anything else with it. It looks like, I mean, it looks very beautiful, that's for sure. It basically reminds me of Tiny Town in Trove over in Team Pixel. Seems like somebody on their map maker side of things just decided randomly, hey, I want to make like a really cool area. And we don't need to necessarily even add any content to it. We'll do that later. Who knows? Side note, just because I've heard the whispers, good Lord, this area is bad. Janky, I should say. Sorry, like with the lag and everything. It's very beautiful. It's just not functional. But as far as I know, the next big weapon change that they're working on is going to be, that is astronomically big, Bamboo. They're supposed to be working on the axe as the next overhauled weapon, I think. This is like absurdly close to a Trove dungeon, but it doesn't seem like I can actually get through it. So let me get off my mount and see if I can kind of wander around over here. I want to see if I can get to those floating islands, but I don't know if we actually can. It'd be really cool if we could. I guess technically you could if you got on an airship, but I will report to you guys out of my many hours of playing this game off camera. Ever since the airship update has been added to the game, I haven't seen a single airship. I've seen, well, that's not entirely true. I've seen 2 airships and they were both hogged by the same people. There's this one scumbag called Blissful, and then there was like another guy that I'm sorry I forget his name. So Blissful, I don't blame you, dude. I blame the devs for stupid game design. Like, imagine adding an airship and then making it so that it was something that could just be hogged by people. I'm just kidding. I entirely blame the people that just grab the airship and hog it the entire time. And then they would always be like, oh, Uber taxi service and all this stuff, and then you would never be able to see the airships and stuff. It just, good Lord. Can I even get up? No, I can't get to those floating islands unless I can go into that. I like how they have it set up as if there's like an elevator going up there, but that is clearly not true. But let's see if we can get to this waterfall over here and ride that up. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! It is beautiful. I'll give it that. This is gonna be a really cool area when it actually like has something to do, you know? Oh God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Oh jeez. Okay. I wasn't paying attention and I forgot how brutal the gliding can be. Okay, please tell me that this works. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, I can get up to these floating islands. There's the like elevator. That would be a perfect spot to have like a secret or something, where you have to glide down to it or climb down to it, you know? That would just be really cool, actually. There seems to be, there's a snow area, there's another town, there's the bamboo forest. Let's see if I can zoom my camera out enough to admire all of its beauty. Woo! It is beautiful. Like, I'll give it that. 100%. It is absolutely amazing. It's just that it doesn't have anything going for it, like function-wise, you know? Oh, that's kind of odd. Okay. That's it? Oh God. Ooh, that was close. I could have very easily just fallen off there. So I don't think we can get to these other islands. Not unless no, we wouldn't be able to get to those. Only with an airship. Which implies that there are actually like functional airships in this game. Like, I think that an airship should be like a mount in this game or something. Apparently the devs have said at some point or another that they're going to end up adding a taxi system between different villages. And you guys might have noticed in some of my videos, I'm actually quite harsh on this game and very critical of it, which all comes out of a place of love. But in all honesty, I'll stop criticizing this game when it actually gets a single individual feature that is unique to it and not just ripped off out of cubeworld. Because even the taxis are something that was already in cubeworld, where you could go from town to town on the Steam version of the game. But anyways, yeah, I guess that's it. There doesn't seem to be anything around here other than just a very, very beautiful biome, which is still really, really cool, but definitely not enough to have me come back to this game tenfold. So this will probably end up being the final episode. How sad is that? I mean, maybe I'll have some videos here and there for you guys, because I know that you still really enjoy the Veloren series, but there's just not really anything for me to do in the game anymore, unfortunately, and it is very, very slow development time. As we've already seen, like, this area is added to the game and it is gorgeous. But unfortunately, as with most indie developers, they don't seem to have enough restraint with the development of this, because if it's tanking my PC, that means most people aren't going to have good performance in here. Granted, I could lower the settings, but still. At this point in time, though, there are a lot of games, you know, kind of voxel games that we're waiting for within the small time frame that we actually were playing Veloren on the channel. Wally ended up coming out of hiding again, and he's working on more cubeworld updates. So that's pretty cool. I mean, so long as he actually delivers and doesn't go into hiding again, that's awesome. The funny thing is, though, that he is basically doing the same mistake that he's done time and time again with his cubeworld updates, where he's basically moving cubeworld into a completely new, like, game engine or something like that, which is a huge undertaking that takes a very, very absurd amount of time. That unfortunately we don't really see that side of things, you know, because it's just long development time. Speaking of another voxel game, we're all still kind of waiting on Hytale. And for those of you that don't know what happened with Hytale, Hytale basically got bought up by Riot Games, and they were originally going to make the game on some sort of a Java code, and Riot was just like, no, you're not. You're going to make a new game engine so it's actually functional, and so we can have it be crossplay right away. And so that's why we haven't heard anything on Hytale for many, many years, just because they're so busy working on the new game engine. Because in my limited understanding of how to develop a video game, let me tell you that making a game engine from scratch is no easy feat. It takes an absurd amount of time and dedication, and unfortunately means that there's not really anything for these developers to really show us, because they don't even really have a functional in-game system yet. I mean, they might, but they basically got to create the game engine and then put all of their code back into that game engine, which might end up being completely different with how it's been written and blah, blah, blah. Relevant to Veloren, but I'm just saying that games are on the horizon that I feel are a perfect fit for my channel. It's just, unfortunately, all of the games that I love, which are going to end up being these voxel games and MMO games, unfortunately are some of the slowest development games around, including Trove. You know, like, that one's actually like an official studio by people that are being paid, and it still is very, very slow development, just because, I don't know, GameAgo doesn't want to give them enough money or hire more people. Who knows, right? None of that matters. That's not what I'm trying to steer this video towards. I'm just saying that I very, very much want to say thank you for the positivity and support that I have received on the Veloren series. However, this series is going to go on a little bit of a hiatus because, again, there's not really anything for me to cover. I might still end up doing some video tutorials every now and then, And I'm sure I could end up doing like a video or two, you know, being a melee character, but there was already a point where I ended up doing a live stream where I was playing as a melee character. My final criticisms towards this game is that, unfortunately, as I stated before, with indie devs, they kind of just go for what's pretty rather than what's functional. And one of the other big reasons I kind of moved away from this game a lot is because in the last major update before this new area was added, they changed the way that the lighting works, and it's not as good as the original lighting was, and I don't seem to be able to actually like toggle it off or anything. They mentioned that you can change and turn off the experimental shaders, but they don't explain how to properly do it, just because, you know, their patch notes kind of suck. But anyways, thanks for watching, really appreciate it. Press J to dance, and I hope you all enjoyed this series while it lasted. I'll definitely come back to this game in the future once it's had a little bit more time in the oven. Otherwise, fingers crossed we get some news about the next cubeworld update, or even Hightail or something. But until then, smash like stuff for more. Sayonara, and stay epic, everybody.